First, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all glory, honors, and praises to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushai, Ba'Hashem, Rakak, Radash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of the Great Millstone, because that's who I learned this truth from, and I want to give double honors to all the other elders teaching the same doctrine, which that we learned this truth from, and giving us that non-stop energy, because we keep growing and growing, and we got to come out here and wake up these sheep. They're out here starving. They're out here thirsting, and we have to come and help them find the way to Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai. So we come out here preaching prophecy, preaching, edifying, reproving, and rebuking. That's because this is what we're supposed to be at. We're on the front streets, and the Lord told us to do this. The Lord gave us the ability, and how you are able to teach other people is you also have to be able to teach yourself. Bear with me. Come on. So let me get into it. This is because you see what's going on. It's a major shifting going on in Israel. You see powers of people that Israel is just it's a huge shifting. It is a huge shifting that now that the Lord is having us, that we have to be accountable. Because how can you teach someone if you're not able to be accountable to your own self? So let me grab something. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 5. Let me grab this. Verse 5. Just double checking. Verse 5. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 5. Examine yourself whether ye be in the faith. So this is what we're supposed to do. Self-examination. So when you hear someone rebuke you, and you got to look at yourself really and examine what are you doing, because that's what the teachers are doing. The teachers of Israel is bringing. Let me just grab something, and then we're gonna go into that breakdown too. This is beautiful. This is Romans chapter 3. I'm gonna go down. This is verse 22. Verse 21. Therefore, let no man glory in men, for all things are yours. Remember, because that's what teachers are doing. It's supposed to be able to educate, to draw out what's already in you, what the Lord has put in from beginning. Whether Paul or Apollos or Cyprus or the word or life or death or present things or things to come, all are yours. So why we examine ourselves, because this thing that's being brought out is bringing what was already in you. You have to examine yourself. Is that something that was in you that you need to fix? It's something that, because this is what we're drawing out. What the Lord has gave us from the beginning. This knowledge, this understanding, all this stuff, it was a gift by the Lord. So we have to examine ourselves. We have to look inside and see what we're doing wrong. We have to, when a brother puts with a spirit, the Lord puts a spirit on a man to rebuke you, you have to look at like, maybe I'm doing this. Maybe I am, because sometimes, most often than not, you're doing something wrong that the Lord has you need to be fixed. It's only a few times, but in the spirit, the Lord reveals that easily, because the man that's doing it and he's doing the same thing, that's different. That's where being a hypocrite. So that's usually because sometimes people, and that's why a lot of brothers be in that rebuking spirit all the time, because sometimes they're not examining themselves, they're projecting the thing that's inside them on other people. So they see something that's like, and they're like, so they are real hard. So that's when you see more often than not, the only videos they make is a rebuking video, or they always having a phone call and trying to talk like, hey, this guy needs to fix this, or this guy. That is because they're doing it, but we're supposed to be examining ourselves. Let me start 2 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 5. Examine yourself, whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own self. So how you do that? By studying to show yourself reproved, reading, rebuke. Shalom, King. Mahalayim. Mahalayim. So we're supposed to be looking inside ourselves. And we're supposed to, and how we draw that out is a study to show ourselves approved, going to the teachers, because that's what they'll be educated, to draw it out from us, the things that the Lord gifted us to. So we're going to be looking at ourselves, what can I fix in that? Criticizing yourself, really. And you can't be horrible onto yourself, like being like, oh man, I'm just through. Also, if you have criticization, like especially when you're doing like, looking like a little kid, you have to be balanced. Oh, this is my strengths and these are my weaknesses. And you got to be honest with yourself. Oh man, I can do better in reading. Or I can do better more in studying. Or I can do better on just being a brother. Or I can do this. This is what you have to be examining, because this is the Lord giving us this grace period to be able to pay him back, to be able to grow in the spirit and draw out what he gave us from beginning, so we can repeat that, we can educate our people and do as the same thing. The cycle continues. So if you're examining yourself and you know your weaknesses, you can use that to help a brother that he has the same weaknesses. Say, all right, this is what I'm working on. This is what I did. And when it fixes, then you can help approve a brother. Know ye not yourself how know ye not yourself how that Yahushua Mashiach is in you, except ye be reprobates? So the spirit that we have, the spirit of Yahushua, we are his temple, his holy temple. So we know that if we don't think about it, and we're void of judging, saying, oh, I know this is bad, but I'm just continuously do it, destroying myself, then what? Then you're a reprobate, because that's what reprobate means, void of judgment. You're not knowing how to fix your own issues, so how are you going to be able to fix a kingdom? How are you ever going to fix other people? 444. Because you don't understand. You're not looking at yourself properly. So you got to examine yourself. You got to look in yourself, because that's what and see, what can I fix? This Shalom Malak La'ab, Yahbashim Yahshai Brakatah. So that's the key thing on if you want to come and help teach people and become that teacher and educate, to bring out what's in other people. You got to help and let the teachers bring out what's in you. And you got to look at yourself and, hey, am I really doing this? Am I doing this to the best of my ability? Because you know, like when people played their last football game or their last wrestling, they knew they had more to give. And that's the difference of the people that made it to the pros or people that made it to college. They knew that they had more to give, but they didn't give it. Well, we're not supposed to be doing that in the truth. We're supposed to be giving it all we got until it's the last breath. He said, we're dead onto this world. So we got to look at ourselves and see if we're really giving it our all. Let me grab this. Khan, this is a Revelation, Shalom, Hope, Grace, and Mercy, Kalab. I think that's Yahbashim Yahshai Brakatah. Your name is just a little hard for me to remember, but Shalom, King Yahbashim Yahshai Brakatah, and Shalom Mashach, Yahweh's messenger, Yahbashim Yahshai Brakatah. This is Revelations chapter 1, verse 6 from the brother Mahalayim. 1 verse 6, and he had made us kings and priests unto God and his Father, to be glory and dominion forever and ever. So the Lord made us kings over this earth. Kings and priests, that's what's promised to us. So a king, if a king doesn't look like, you have you got to look at it like that. So when you have power over certain people, if all your little inconsistencies is going to go down to your kingdom. It's going to go down just as Esau Edom, his kingdom and his things. What has happened to him? Let me just grab it. So you have like an inconsistency that now you're proud. So now everyone around you is going to start being proud because you're not examining that thing or that. I'm going to just grab it. The spirit. This is Sirach chapter 10, verse 1. A wise judge will instruct his people, and a government of a prudent man is well ordered. So if you're actually examining what you can fix, then your empire is going to be looking at their self. They're going to take that role model. So now all the people that are leading on you, they're like, look at these qualities. They're going to have the same qualities of you. So you know, oh, I can fix that. So you're going to have that same state of mind. And when it's a problem in your kingdom, and you're going to look at it and it's like, yeah. Or as a priest, what the Lord wants from you. Because that's ultimately what we have when you examine and you say, what can I do better for the Lord? What can I do that will help me understand and get closer to the Lord? Well, if you not have that, then everyone that's under you is going to have that same state of mind. As a judge of the people of himself, so are his officers. And what manner a man of the ruler of the city is, such are they that dwell therein. So look at Esau Edom. He's proud as hell. He's a sodomite. He's weird. He did all these things. And look what happened to look what happened in his kingdom. Now that's all it's up. Proud national sodomites that are running around doing God knows what. And what happens? Now this place is crumbling. And look at the leaders that were leading our people back in the day. One of the scribes and Pharisees. They was proud. They were worried about money. And look what happened. That our kingdom went straight into slavery. And look what happened. We're all through. So whoever the leaders of you are you want to be a leader, you have to put forth that energy towards yourself. And your people are going to follow you. The people that are following you. As an unwise king destroyeth his people, but the prudent man which is prudent, so examining yourself, being cautious on the things you do, making sure that you're doing the right thing. Does the Lord want this? The Lord seeing this? Which are authority of the city, but the prudent men of them which are in authority of the city shall be inhabited. The power of the earth is at hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over one that is proper. He's going to put forth Yahushua. And we're servants of Yahushua, so we have to have that same energy, examining ourselves, making sure that we're doing what's right in the Lord. Let me grab this. This is James chapter 1, verse 23. For any man be hearers of the word and not doers, he is like unto a man beholdeth a natural face of glass, broken. For he behold himself going his way straight forth, forgotten what manner of man he was. But whosoever look into the perfect of law of liberty and continue therein, he being not a forgetful hearer, so he's not going to be able to, if he's actually examining himself, because that's what we're supposed to do, seeing that he's on these commandments and not using this liberty for occasion to the flesh. He's trying to get better in the Lord, continuously moving forth. What's going to happen? He's not going to be that forgetful hearer that he's going to forget that, hey, that's against the Lord's law. That's going to make you fall. This is what's going to happen if you do this. He's going to just can't forget it. He's going to continue moving forward, just doing what he's doing. And everyone that follows him is going to fall in the same ditch. The blind man leading the blind. So you have to be a doer of the word. And by doing the word, you have to examine yourself. See if you're doing, because we all mess up. We all come short to the righteousness of Yahushua. The righteousness of the Lord. We all fall short. But if we look at it and we're trying to get better, what's going to happen? We're going to get better and better. And then it's going to be like nature. It's going to be like muscle memory. All right. Because we're going to still fall, but we're going to get better. And that's all right. Now I don't have a problem with that. And just like that, like a lot of people, when they started getting this truth, they were smoking. They were doing all that. I don't know, because it wasn't like it. But when they started smoking and they seen that it was against the law. Now they don't even have a problem. Now when they're around someone that's smoking, they either leave, it's just muscle movement, they just leave around there, or it doesn't even bother them. It doesn't even bother them. They don't have that thought, hey man, I just want one puff. But a doer of the work, this man shall be blessed in his deeds. So he's going to be blessed in his deeds because he's going to be able to see what's wrong, see what he can do to fix himself. Because we have to know that the Lord is dealing with us if we are able to look at ourselves and see what we can fix and fix it. When the Lord puts that spirit on you, man, I need to read 144 a lot. Yahweh Shem Yahshua. I need to read more. And then the next day, you start reading 2 more chapters and 3 more chapters. But don't get too crazy on it. But then you start, all right, now you fix that. Now you reading and understanding the breakdowns more. Now you're going down the breakdowns even a little bit more. But now you're going out more. Now you're doing more and more and more. And now the Lord is pleased with you that he's going to give you, hey man, he's doing his thing. The Lord's going to give you, hey, I'm going to give him a better job. I'm going to give him this woman that's going to help him get better. I'm going to give him this. Or he might even challenge you, because don't forget, these challenges also make us stronger. So he's like, oh, you see that? I might give him a little bit more hours, but see what he's going to do with it. And then if he does it, then what? I'm going to give him something beautiful in the spirit. I'm going to let him be able to break this down even better. But this is what we have to do. And we're going to get into it. I'm going to get just some context to what this is. Because we got to understand that we don't got it. We don't got it yet, but we're trying to get it. Because it was just Jake, he was saying that he was let me just grab it. This is Jake yesterday. You said, man, even if he's not teaching, he's not doing anything, denying the northern kingdom, saying that they're not Israelites, not doing anything, but he said he's above a level. He was that shit. Well, he's not examining himself, because he obviously know, if he was reading the scriptures, that he knows that he ain't doing nothing. He ain't doing nothing. He's lower than any northern kingdom brother. Look, he's not preaching. He's not doing anything. He's just bumping his gums. And he's not truly examining himself. Let me grab this. 6. Let me grab it. This is Galatians chapter 6, verse 8. I'm going to start at 5. For every man shall bear his own burdens. Let him that is taught in the world this word communicate unto him that teacheth all good things. That's what we're supposed to do. But be not deceived. The Lord God is not mocked. He's not mocked. So you can't just come and not do anything, not going in the flesh, scoffing on people, telling the people that are preaching the word, because look at all these northern kingdom brothers are out. I'm northern kingdom. He was telling me this, and he said, look at all these northern kingdom, they're not Israelites. Well, they're teaching the word. He's mocking the Lord, that he's mocking the scriptures. He's mocking what the Lord said. He's saying that he was going to bring forth the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. They're going to be oppressed together, and then at the last days, they were going to come from the land. Let me just grab it. So that's an example of a man not examining himself. He's not examining. He's saying that he's the great. So he knows damn well that he's not otherworldly. His thoughts are. But if he was truly examining himself and he was seeing what he was doing wrong, he would understand, like, damn, I'm saying this, but what about Ezekiel, the 37th chapter? What about this verse? This is Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 18. And in those days the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel, and they shall come together, all the land of the north and the land of them that have given inheritance unto their fathers. So that's supposed to happen. So you saying all the tribes are black. They're saying all the tribes are black. Well, you were there. They were all together the whole time. They went into slavery. They went to the northern kingdom. They were all that stuff. So when was the separation? The separation happened as a second Ezra, the 13th chapter. They were going to come into a land that they didn't know. To keep the things that keep the statutes that they didn't keep in their own land. Or they're saying that they were going to the northern kingdom. So when is that prophecy? So he's not examining himself. He's saying he's high, but he knows that he doesn't know that prophecy. So let's continue. This is Galatians chapter 6, verse 8 again. For he verse 7, for be not, God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. So you're not examining, you might think that you're doing as much as possible, even if you're not going out. You're not going out, you're not doing nothing, you're not reaping, are you just doing fleshly things? Like, I know the Lord dealing with me, but I'm still smoke cigarettes. I know the Lord dealing with me, but I'm still in the weed. The Lord's gonna have mercy on me. Well, you're pretty much mocking the glory that the Lord gave us, the grace that he gave us to be able to get better. And that grace period, you're like, well, the Lord's just gonna forgive me because I'm just that guy. No, that's not how it works. Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. So if he's reaping bountifully, let me grab that. And then we're gonna get into it. I'm 1 Corinthians, the 3rd chapter. Let me grab these precepts real quick. This is Isaiah from the brother Mahalayim. Isaiah chapter 64, verse this is Isaiah chapter 64, verse 5. Thou meetest him that rejoice and work righteousness. Those that remember thee in thy ways, behold, thou art wrought, for we have sinned in this continuance, and we shall be, but we are all as a unclean thing. All our righteousness are as filthy rags. We all fadeth away as a leaf. Our iniquity is like Salakia. This stupid heart thing is blocking it. And all our iniquity is like the wind that has been taking us away. So we're pretty much nothing. The Lord, didn't John say the Lord can raise up rocks in our place? But he gave us a gift that we're able to teach it. And how are we going to use this gift? This is like someone giving you a new car. And instead of doing like you have this new car, you got this gift. And instead of doing what you're supposed to do by giving the oil change, making sure that's all right, getting the tires rotated, you just drive it to a grounds like some spoiled rich kid and think that someone else is going to do it. No, you're supposed to get all that maintenance done. You're supposed to look at, hey, it's kind of shaking. Look into that car because that's when it's going to last more. And that's when you're going to be able to, when it gets it, especially if it's like look at those people that took care of their car in like 1970. Now they're selling their cars for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Well, we're supposed to be like that. The Lord likes men like that. Let me grab this. This is nice, but I don't know. It's 2 Corinthians. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 6. But this I say, he which soweth sparingly shall reap also sparingly. So you're not doing anything, you're not examining anything, you're not teaching, you're doing carnal things in this world, saying like, hey, I don't want to look at myself, or I don't want to look inside myself and see if I'm doing right. And then now you start not teaching much. It's like, I'm still good. But you're not examining that. The Lord wants you to be on fire. So now you start getting colder and colder, and bam, you reaped as less as possible. You did as less as possible. Now the Lord is going to give you less in the spirit as possible until it's nothing. Because you're going to just get worse and worse because you're not examining yourself. You're not doing what you're not listening to rebuke. When someone sees something in you that the Lord put that eye into you and told you to reap. Now you don't go out there and just talk. You're literally just talking to the camera. You're not giving no scriptures. You're just having a fucking what's it called? You're making it, instead of the book of the Lord, you're talking about the book of yourself. Like I'm just doing this is the book of, you might as well stop saying the Holy Bible. No, this is the book of Tahawam. Just using my name as an example. You're not supposed to be doing that. And he was so bountifully shall also reap also bountifully. And how are you doing that? Because if you go out a lot and a lot, you know that It's all, you have to always keep getting better. You got to keep examining yourself. Or are you like, yeah, I went into that. Prophecy went in there, but sometimes the same prophet is a lot of prophecy, but nothing new, that you can make a whole 2-hour lesson that you got to just study more and say, all right, let's go into these breakdowns. All right, let's look at this. And now and you just got to keep doing it every day. And he's like, all right, man, I'm working. I don't understand that scripture. Go and study it. I don't understand that. And then bam, when you come out, you can come out in the street and teach it, and it's bountiful. Keep teaching more and more and more. That's how it's supposed to be. And it starts with a self-examination. This is Galatians chapter, because again, as the scripture that, I'm just read it again. Because as teachers, you have to understand, like when you educate someone to get it, you're just bringing it out of them. Let me just read it again. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 21. Verse 20. Therefore, let no man glory in men, for all things are yours. So we have teachers, and that's what, but they're supposed to be bringing what's out on you. So don't let it glory like, yeah, this is, because Paul says it. I'm going to get into it. It's going to be in the beginning of the chapter. Whether Paul or Apollos or Cyprus are of the world, or life or death, or all things present, things that come, all are yours. This was the Lord gifted it to you to bring it out, to help bring it out, to help bring out it from someone else. So we get teach and we give double honors to our teachers. We got to understand that it's nothing if you can't let it examine yourself, and you can't see that, oh man, this is going to hamper my thing, that the Lord gifted it to me, this knowledge that he gave it to us. So when we hear it, it was something that we already knew from the beginning, that the Lord gave us he gave us the spirit of Yahushua, and he is all this, he is everything. So continuing Galatians chapter 6, verse 8, for he that soweth of his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption. So he's not doing it, and he starts doing just more fleshly thing, or I'm gonna make this money, or I'm gonna continuously, I don't know, instead of doing that, I'm gonna just be carnal. I'm gonna stop fasting, I'm gonna stop praying, I'm just gonna do what's spirit. I'm gonna rap, I'm gonna put the Lord's name in it, so he's gonna love. I'm doing what David was doing. I'm singing songs. Well, no, that's carnal. You can do that on your free time, but you gotta also sow things that are spiritually, not things that can be corrupted. Because what is gonna do? You become a star, first of all, they're not gonna want you to use the Lord's name. First thing, so you're not gonna be famous being here singing, being a rapper, or being this one, or having a podcast. You're not going to be famous here if you're using the Lord's name. He's going to look, and that's just going to be able to be corrupted. You're going to be able to, now you're going to have to sell your soul. Now you're going to have to do something to get big up if you want to make money, instead of sowing something that the Lord is about to, of the flesh, you're sowing the spiritual. Let me just grab it. This is Matthew chapter 6, verse 19. Lay not up for yourself treasures upon earth, whether moth or rust do corrupt. So this is the things you do of the spirit. The moth, all. Look, you can have $100 million, just cash money, and you put it in the warehouse. What's going to happen to it? It's going to be, eventually it's going to corrode. Animals are going to be able to eat it. And they're just talking that spiritually, that anything in this world is going to be destroyed. Anything, it's corrupt. Like you can have $10,000, and 3 months later, it's less than $10,000 that you have, because we're going through a process of inflation. So it's just getting corrupt. Nothing's going to happen. So you're just showing for the flesh. You're doing things more fleshly. What's going to happen? It's going to just corrupt, and it's going to corrupt you, because when you lose it, you're willing to try to do more to get that same value. Because nobody wants. Well, imagine if you gave someone $10, and when he paid you back, he only gave you $8. Like, you're gonna look at it like, no, I want the $10. Where moth and rust do corrupt, where thieves break through and steal. So you can, don't forget, look at a lot of inventions. Remember, if you don't understand how the patent system works, and when you create a patent, you only have 7 years that people can't steal it, or change it, or copy it. 7 years. That's why when you have fertilizer companies or something with a secret formula, they patent pen stuff. So if you understand business, they don't actually give a patent, they patent penned it. So it's pending for patent, and then when they do it, they change one little thing in it, and they re-patent penned it so people don't steal their idea. But if you have it a patent, then all you have to do is 7 years. That's how when they wait, and then they can copy it point by point, the same exactly thing, and pay a little fee. But it's not even nothing, and it's not even really paying towards you. They can change one little element and copy it and change it, and now it's not even your patent. So people can just steal all your edges. Look at all the rappers. They said Biggie, he stole the flow from a man from Mississippi. And they just had to pay, but he stole it. Or all these people, you think majority of these stars? Look at Meek Mill, stole his flow from that one Jake, that light-skinned Jake. The Meek Mills, he stole it. All these rappers, they stole their stuff. Look at Lady Gaga. They show her, she killed her friend and stole her whole style. And now she's the one famous. So what are you? This place can be, this is what you have to think about. Let me grab this. Shalom Shahar, Yahbashim Al-Shah Brakatah, Shalom Nathan, Yahbashim Al-Shah Brakatah. Therefore, this is Ephesians chapter 6, verse 13. I was in it, but we just dropped down since you put it. Wherefore, take up, Salakia. Take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, having done all to stand. And Shalom Yahbashim Al-Shah. So this whole armor of God, and that's if you balancing spiritually, because that's the only how you gonna do getting your armor better. Remember when David, he said, I don't want to wear it because I have not tested it. Well, the Lord has given us the ability to test this armor. So when that day we have to come against these evil people that are going to put some of us in jail, the ones that are going to say that we did certain things, we have that protection. We have the army, and we're able to battle these demons on the street as we're testing it right now. Because right now we're in a boot camp. It's still war, and we're still fighting for our life, but it's not real major. You can still preach. They're not putting preachers to death. They're not putting the prophets to death right now. So when that happens, are you going to be able to stand? If you don't have no armor, you don't have that protection. Continuing. This is verse 20. But lay unto yourself treasures in heaven, which neither moth nor rust do corrupt, where thieves do not break through and steal. Because the Lord, right, like, banks, people can go into the bank and rob it. It's harder now, but they just have to have a gun. Well, nobody's about to rob you out by Shemi Al-Shai. They can't even make it up there. They can't even understand. Well, they can't even look at an angel without freaking out. So how do you think they can steal it? They can't steal look at all the men, Isaiah, Ezekiel, they did what the Lord did, and look, they got their books written of them. They got to be able to be a part of the elect. They got all this stuff, and no one can take it. No one can take that from them. Let me grab this. Nobody's going to be able to trick Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai and take your spot in the kingdom. So this is the order. The Lord already gave it to you. You just trying to show the Lord that you're worthy for it. Let me grab this. Bear with me. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 7. Verse, I'm gonna start up a little bit. 7 verse 43. But the day of doom shall be the end of this time, and the beginning of immortality for it to come, whereas corruption is past. So you're not gonna see all this just carnal ability that's so, oh, I'm just gonna be rapper. You're not gonna see governments selling out for money. No, none of that. All corruption is gonna pass. And I answered and said, this is my first and last saying, that it has been better not to be giving the earth. Salakia, it just jumped. Bear with me. Salakia, my bad. I skipped the verse. Intemperance is at its end. Infidelity, unbelief cut off. Righteousness grown, and truth sprung out. Then shall no man be able to save him that is destroyed, and nor to oppress him that has gotten the victory. You can't get your spots stolen. The ones that did, those were the Lord from the beginning. And if you keep putting spiritually, you're going to still get the prize that the Lord has promised you. He has given it to you from the beginning. Let me get back in this. This is Galatians chapter 6, verse 8. For he that soweth to the flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption, but he that soweth to the Spirit shall reap life everlasting. That's when the day of doom, immortality, the beginning of immortality. So that's when it's going to start. And that day, and you have to do towards the Spirit. You have to continuously teach. And how do you become spiritual? It comes, that's why the Lord said the kingdom of heaven is within. You have to look inside yourself by doing this word, examining yourself, continuously preaching, oh, what can I do better to please the Lord? And if I'm not, and how can I make him how can I make him proud? Because that's our Father, you know, as a man like a Judah, I'm not a Judite, Salakia, a Jake man. So, as a Jake man, what are you supposed to be doing? As a Jake man, when I was my father, I wanted to be just like my dad. I wanted to make him proud. So I would do stuff literally to see and oppress him. Well, we have to have that state of mind with Yahweh Shemel Shai. We have to, hey, if I do this, if I get better, is the Lord going to be pleased with me? If I do this, looking at Yahweh Shai like, he did this, and he wants us to do this. This is what pleases him. Faith, as much faith as possible. So maybe I go out there one time after I did a lot of studying and just have no scriptures and just go with the Spirit. Or maybe I go out on one more time a week. Or maybe I do one more lesson. I did a lesson this morning, but the Spirit's on me. Do another lesson. We'll read things towards the Spirit. Oh, maybe the Lord, it's not good for me to drink so much. Maybe I just not drink. Maybe I just fast this day. Maybe I fast this day. The day I used to like drinking, maybe I start fasting. Things towards the Spirit, because that's what you're going to be growing. Shalom, Shangar, Yahweh Shemel Shai Barakatah. Let's get into this. This is 1 Corinthians. What's up, man? Yeah, I got a page. You want? Hold on. See, and that's what it's about. We're coming out here for our people. And just as it, our people, a Northern Kingdom brother, that's what we're supposed to be doing. This is what? So we, to the Spirit, and then the Lord puts fruit upon for the men of the Lord. And we keep growing this ministry, because that's what this is what it's about. The Wadiyah Bashim Shot. So let's get into this. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 1. And I, brethren, could not speak unto you as unto spiritual, but as carnal, even as babes into a Mashiach. So look at, even like Paul, when he was going through these things, like he got a bunch of revelations. He got all these things. But what can you speak to him but only things that are carnal? We're onto babes. Because how are we supposed to learn this thing? First, examination, and then also going into these scriptures. Let me grab this. This is Isaiah chapter 28, verse 9. And whom shall he teach knowledge, and whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. So we're supposed to be, first, a self-examination, going out to these basic scriptures of seeing what we need to do. Because as babes, we're children. So we start into this truth, and we got to understand that we got to get better. And how does kids grow? By listening to their father, getting better. The men that teach us, the men that are, because they can't give you the spiritual understanding. They can only draw what's already inside you. That's all it is. But the Lord said he was going to give us teachers, because how can you not hear? Let me grab that. This is Romans chapter 10, verse 14. What's up? How then shall they, this is verse 14, they call on him whom they have not believed. And how shall they believe on him of him whom they have not heard? And how shall they hear without a preacher? For that's what you have to have, a preacher. And you have to understand there's milk, and there's ultimate milk that you have to know the Lord's name. How are you going to pray upon something if you don't even know this name? That's the most people, when they got this understanding, the first thing they learned was the name. That was the first thing you have to know. The first, how to be a better brother. These little spiritual things that babes should know. Continuing on Isaiah chapter 28. Let me grab this from the brother. This is Ephesians chapter 5, verse 15. See then that we walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. So we walk in, and we're supposed to circumspectly, looking in a circle everywhere around you, being spiritual about it, because you have to have it a spiritual, that eye salve. We have to look, and we have to be not fools, because we're just walking aimlessly, not listening, not reading the scriptures, not using these things. We're not in the milk. We're just trying to go into the meat. Are we seeing all this evil around us, and we're just walking like fools, going corrupt? Oh, we know that a lot of people that do drugs, they're demons. But we're going to a party with all like drug addicts. People are you go to a house party, and you know that these men gangbang a lot, and that's all you do is just go over there. Well, what happened? You're not walking circumspectly. You're not being wise around it, and then you're gonna die. You're gonna just reap corruption. Redeeming the time, because the days are evil. This is Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 15. I will give you pastors according to my heart. That's what the Lord said from the brother Enos. He was going to give us pastors according to my heart. So this is what the Lord gave us these teachers that started from the One West. I started from Abba Bivens to the One West, from GMS to all the camps for teaching the same doctrine. He was going to give us these teachers that are coming from where we came from, according to the Lord picked out. The Lord got it, so they can draw out that spirit out of you. That's because that's what educate, to draw it out. That the things that the Lord gave us from the beginning, so we can understand and get better. And it starts with self-examination. So we can teach these words, but if you're not applying it and you're not seeing, the teacher, and you're just doing what you can do, being like you're proud that, I don't need no teachers, I can just do with it. Or not, that's a clear sign of you're not examining yourself, because you know you don't got it. Man, you know you don't got it. Especially like you try to get in a breakdown, or you have some. And then you just get cut up by some real Christian, and you be like, damn, you can't look at yourself like, maybe I gotta go to the teachers that the Lord has put forth through all these days. Please look at all these men. Like Elder Yabakar been out for 15 years. Look at, and they have examples and experience that we can learn. They've experience meaning they were tested in all these times, and they're still going forth. So we have teachers that the Lord put forth so we can learn from. Which I shall feed you with knowledge and with understanding. So it's a daily feast. Every day you can feast on the Lord's table. Let's grab that. This is Proverbs chapter 9, verse, I'm going to get the points in 3. I'm going to just read down because it's beautiful. Wisdom has built her house, and she has hewn her 7 pillars. You know, the foundation, I already did it. It already been brought forth. The Lord through Yahushua. She, the master builder, she has killed her beast. She has mingled the wine and has set and furnished her table. The table is already set. He already did all the work, all this with the teachers and all that stuff, so you can go and feed and eat and daily, getting this knowledge and understanding, getting built up. The Lord has already set the table. She has sent forth her maidens, the teachers after my own heart, the Lord just said. Lord willing, I'm the number, but if if you can self-examine it. So he has brought his maidens, his servants. She crieth upon the high places of the city. So right here, where the Lord said on the highways and hedges, and all these signals, this is where the table is set. So are you willing to eat? You're not going to go, you're going to just come and, I'm going to eat later. You know, like that badass little kid, instead of eating, like they have a barbecue, they're going to wait until it gets cold and bad, and they're going to play video games or something corrupts. Or you're going to be like that one? Yeah, maybe I'm going to do my rap career right now. And let the food get spoiled, and then try to eat it all in. What happens if you're not taking your time when you eat? You're going to vomit it all up. Whosoever is simple, let him turn hither. So all these, because we all came in this. Every last man came into this truth simple, dumb, as babes. That's why, let's get back. Let me grab it again. And I, brethren, this is 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 1. I, brethren, speak not unto you as spiritual, but as unto you carnal, even as babes in a Mashiach. I have fed you with milk and not meat. So we have to be bottle fed. And who can learn understanding? The ones that are weaned from the milk. But we came here simple. We all said, we thought we were Christians. I wasn't even in the Christian church. We thought we were everything else. We thought that so-called white man Jesus, we were praying on to him. We were all that stuff. Simple as hell. Dumb as hell. We thought we were different people from the Latino tribes. We thought we thought we were all different people. when Nara in Ezekiel the 37th chapter was being manifest. This is what the Lord has did. Let me grab some, please. Oh, so this is what we came here, simple as hell. But we had this feast set forth, and we had teachers to draw it out from us. As for him that is wanted of understanding, she said to him, come and eat my bread. So the Lord just set out it. And everyone that thirsteth or hungereth, let me grab it. Prepared a feast for us. He let us have teachers to help us get and all this stuff. This is what the Lord got. So are you gonna are you hungry? That's what you gotta examine. Are you really hungry? Are you gonna spare bountifully when you get this food when you're full and use that energy properly? Are you gonna use that energy to just not do shit, just sit around with the itis? This is Isaiah chapter 55 verse 1. Oh, everyone that thirsteth, come ye to the waters, and he that have no money, come ye and buy and eat. That's what the Lord said. Prophecy. Ye come buy wine and milk without money and without price. So back in again, this is Proverbs chapter 9, verse 5. Come, eat my bread and drink the wine which I have mingled. Say, come, get this. Go, get fed. Come. Look at the host. All the servants come out. Come get fed. Get this understanding. If you need it, if you want anything, get understanding. Let me grab something. This is 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 11. Seeing that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of person ye ought to be, all holiness and conversation, from the brother Shahar Judah. Yeah, so seeing that, we know, if you understand and listen to these scriptures, you know that the Lord is going to drop thermonuclear destruction on this place, that everything is going to be burnt as an oven, and all the proud of his people are going to be killed with the sword, and all these things are going to happen. Are you going to just be a carnal, wicked, slothful napkin servant? You're not going to do nothing? Or are you going to just, are you going to get better in your spirit? Are you going to just reap, oh man, I'm going to just continuously smoke, I'm just going to continuously do that? Well, I'm going to die anyway. We all got to go to, well then the Lord is going to, are you going to be a man of the Lord that's going to continue and eat up this feast so you have enough energy to give it and give and receive to these people that want it too, because they're hungry too. We're feeding these people, and we got to continuously move on and flow past. That's what the Lord said. Pastor, according to your heart. So the Lord, if you're a teacher, the Lord picked you just so you can teach another man and draw out that spirit out of him. So you were needed for the help spark another man's spirit. So according to another man, the Lord wanted and put it you and gave you from the beginning of earth that you can come out and teach another man. That's what the Lord did. So that's, you're a part of something big, a building that the Lord has built, and you got to continuously move on and go spiritually and not corruption, because if you do, how is that man going to be fed? Verse 6, forsake the foolish and live. Forsake these foolish world. Stop going into what's going on. Forsake it. It is foolishness. And come to the real feast, to the real kingdom of the Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua. And it starts by getting this word and examining yourself. And go in the way of understanding. Don't be like that simple one, because the Lord said if you don't get it, as he stretched out his hand, he's going to laugh at your calamity. He's going to destroy you. So we have a beautiful time. We have something that the Lord gave to us, a grace period that we're willing to get better. So are you going to take and just, oh man, I'm going to just have no regard, tarry to what the Lord has put forth for you and be destroyed? Since he grabbed that, let me grab this real quick. This is Sirach chapter 5, verse 7. Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put off from day to day, for suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance. So if you just like bullshitting and corruption, trying to be a rapper, or just thinking about this money, not reaping bountifully as the Lord gave for you, as he fed you to have that strength to go out in the fields. He gave you that strength, this knowledge, this understanding, so you're able to work. And are you going to use that energy for something that the Lord wants for you? Which he said to preach and help these people go out to the highways and hedges and bid them to the marriage, plant these seeds? Or are you just going to be like, all right, I'm just going to sit back and just be greedy and then vomit it all up? Because you want to be like a couch potato Israelite. Let me grab this real quick. Because if the Lord understand his way, this is Proverbs chapter 1, verse 22. How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And the scorner delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. They hate it. So you're going to be that foolish that hates knowledge. And turn ye at my reproof, and behold, I will pour out my spirit upon you, and I will make known my words on you. And he gave a whole feast, but you just denied it. You said, I ain't hungry. I'm going to eat these GMO food. I'm going to eat what Esau's giving me. You just turned, what's going to happen? Because I called and ye refused, and I stretched out my hand and no man regard. But ye have set at naught all my counsels, and would not none of my reproof. And I will also laugh at your calamity, and I will mock when your fear cometh. The Lord's going to laugh at you. He's like, you really, instead of having this gourmet meal, a fine wine that the Lord mingled and on a beautiful table with his beautiful servants, you wanted that GMO. You wanted that worldly knowledge. You wanted everything else, but you didn't want it. You wanted corruption. So the Lord is going to give you that corruption when he destroys you. Verse 7, he that reprove a scorner, see, this is what happened. Because this is what, you're not examining yourself, and you become a scorner. Scorners love and they hate knowledge. So you just tell a brother, and you tell him, you rebuke a scorner to get him, you get him to himself shame. And he that reproveth a wicked man, himself a blood. Reprove not a scorner, lest he hate thee, and reproves a wise man, and he will love thee. Those ones that are examining, they hear it, and they're able to listen, and you help draw out that spirit out of them. But if you do it to those ones that are not self-examining, the ones that are doing corruption, he'll start looking at you a certain way. It's like, man, I don't even like that. Jake never likes anything healthy they don't like the vegetables, they don't like nothing, but they'll eat some potato chips, they eat all this stuff. So you telling them, it's like, how dare you make me eat my vegetables? How dare you have something healthy for me? And they'll hate you. This is 1 Corinthians, again, chapter 3. Verse 3. For yet we yet are carnal, for whosoever there is among you envy and strife and division are not carnal and walk as men. So this is what we can't do, how people try to unite with these people that have different doctrines. All right, unite with people. And look what brings it. It brings envy, strife. It does all this stuff. Now everyone wants to be higher than the other. So aren't we not carnal? Aren't we as men? Because they're not living and they're not in the spirit of Yahushua. They're in the spirit of just let's be united, and let's see how big this thing can get and how much money we can make. Because that's what basically it's all, or how much title we can get. But let me just go down to the point. Verse 4. For said I am Paul, another, and I am Apollo. Ye are not carnal. When then is Paul and who is Apollos? But ministers, servants, but whom ye believe, even as the Lord give to every man. I have planted and Apollos water, but God giveth the increase. And how did he increase you? Because you can learn from as many a great man as one, but if you're not self-examining, the Lord is not going to increase you. You're gonna just come and be united, and you're gonna start envying a brother. You're gonna start doing that because the Lord didn't plant you. The Lord didn't use it. The Lord just had you to come in here to be destroyed. So how are you going to increase the ones that are the true men the Lord planted? You're going to self-examine. You're going to look at yourself, and you're going to grow, and you're going to do what you need to do in this truth. Let me grab this. I forgot where it's at. Bear with me. I have in my notes. Oh yeah. This is Luke chapter 8, verse 11. This is, you go into it, they give you the parable. And why a lot of people don't understand is because it's up to you to know. It's up to you to examine it, because the Lord gave it to the mid. Let me grab that. Damn it. This is Matthew chapter 13, verse 11. He answered and he said, I'll get to the point. I got to get a little back. Verse 10, verse 9. This is 13, verse 9. Who has ears, let him hear. And the disciples came and said unto him, why speakest thou unto them in parables? And he answered and he said unto them, because it was given unto you to know the mysteries. The Lord planted, the Lord put that in you, and that's what these teachers are doing, drawing it out to you. And that's up to you to examine and self-examine it, study, and so you can bring it out to the things that were given to you. And he said unto you, because it was given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. But them it was not given. For whatsoever ye have, to him shall be given, and he shall no more abundant. But whatsoever he have not, for it shall be taken away, even that he have. So even if they know that they're Israelite right now, even if they know they're a scorner and hate you, and they have these ability that they were never planted and they were just pushing forth their carnality, what is the Lord going to do? He's going to take that from what he even has, and he's going to bug them out at the end of the day. So it's up for us. So let me grab it. Luke chapter 8. Verse 11. And now the parable is this, that the seed of the word of God, those by the way are they that hear, and then cometh the devil, and take away the word out of their mouth. So they start doing less, they start sowing, mocking, start scoffing, they start not doing their lessons, they're not going out on the highways and hedges. They go out and they're literally just venting, talking just bullshit, not doing what the Lord has given, which is carnal, not focusing on the milk, not growing. So the devil came and took it out. Seeing that they might, Salakia, and taken away the word out of his heart. Said, those that were given me have not, that shall be taken. And hearing means Salakia, lest they should believe and be saved. then on the rock are they, the ones that were sincere to milk, that were weaned and got the understanding. They're the one that they were planted by these teachers, but the Lord increased because they were self-examining. They were doing better. That thing that the Lord was giving to them was getting drawn out more and more. They were getting better. They started sowing bountifully, which they hear and receive the word with joy, and they had no root. Salakia. It was not this verse. This is the next verse. Salakia. But they had no root. So these are the ones that didn't have no foundation. They didn't have that. They didn't wean themselves on the word. They didn't understand the simple things. They went too fast. They went all these things. They didn't have no root. They didn't have no foundation. The Lord didn't plant them. They didn't use the teacher to plant them. So why would He increase? It was like that fig tree that the Lord said, and He swiveled them up, took in what they didn't have, which for I, while believe, in time the temptation fall away, because they didn't endure. So as soon as they got rebuked, they couldn't handle the heat. So why would they handle the affliction that comes, that tests all men? Because fire and be tried as gold. Let me grab it. This is, and Bear, I jumped the gun on the first, but this is this one, and then what I said before, I just re-say it. This is Sirach chapter 2, verse 5. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable man in the furnace of adversity. So I'm not going to be able to get all the way down, but we're going to get it. We're going to just get it. I'm going to jump down to it after that. This is verse 13. And they on the rock are like which they hear and receive the word with joy. Verse 14. And they that which fell among thorns, they are which they have had go forth and were choked with the cares and the riches and the pleasure of this life. So they sow corruption and bring forth no fruit to perfection. But the good ground, and that ground is the mind. They were planted in there, and they had teachers to draw it out. They were planted in the mind, because that was the ground of this they're talking about, which in honest and good heart, having heard the word, kept it, and bring forth fruit with peace, with patience. So this is those people, the ones that are self-examining, the ones that the Lord has planted from the beginning, that He brought forth, that He used men to plant, but the Lord is increasing. So I'm going to drop down to the point, because I'm about to head out. And again, if someone wants this whole breakdown, just tell me and I do it. This is I'm gonna drop down to the point. This is verse 10, 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 10. According to the grace of God, which we were given unto me as a wise master builder, I have laid the foundation, and another beareth thereon. See, the Lord has put forth these men, started from Peter, because he was the foundation and the chief cornerstone, the most important part, which is Yahushua. But a master builder, and I'm not a master builder, but we're learning. We're getting better and better. And another beareth thereon. Let every man take heed how he buildeth thereon. So what man that doesn't count the cost? Oh, well, this is what you're supposed to build. Or look at how you're supposed to build it. Or you got to start with this. You have to have these major scriptures, like the name, what is the prophecy, the MOT, all these things that you have to build right, because you're not going to be like a child, still be as a child with Legos. So you know that if you put this Lego right here, it's going to tip over, but you're going to do it anyway because you just think it's cool. No, you can't do that. For other foundation can no man lay it than that is laid, which is Yahushua Mashiach, the ultimate foundation. Through Him, because through Him we are saved. Now, if any man built upon the foundation gold, silver, precious stones, wood, hay, and stubble, this is all the people that are going to be building on it. But how are you test these? every man's work shall be made manifest, for the day shall declare it, because it shall be revealed by fire, that affliction. And you can't take that little fire. That's how you know you're stubble. If you can't take getting rebuked, you can't, and you gotta always say, oh, it's this or that, or you gotta try to get other people here, then you're stubble. You're gonna be, soon as when it gets hot in the kitchen, you're gonna burn away. Soon as they start testing the metal, because it's just gonna go far. You're just gonna just melt away. And that fire shall be tried, every man's work of what sort it is. And if any man work abide with he has built thereon, it shall receive the award. And that award was given to us from the beginning. Everyone, so the Lord, and no one's going to be able to, like iron, just like that a parable in the Matthew's, the 6th chapter. Nobody's going to be able to steal your spot. You did what the Lord has told you to do. Let me grab it. This is Jeremiah chapter 1. Verse 5. Behold, I have formed thee in the belly, and I knew thee. And before thou camest out of the womb, I sanctify thee, and I ordain thee a prophet unto the nations. So to be a prophet, those are also as teachers. It's all that stuff. Actually, that's the wrong one. Where is it in? I think it's in Jeremiah. I think it's Jeremiah 49. Salakia. That's the wrong one. This is Jeremiah chapter 40. Maybe it's Isaiah. Bear with me, Salakia. It is Isaiah. This is Isaiah chapter 49, verse 5. And now said the Lord that formed me from the womb to be the servant, to bring Jacob again to him. Thou, Israel, be not gathered, yet shall I be glorified in the eyes of the Lord, and my God shall be my strength. So he said he formed us again. I have formed thee from the womb to be my servant, to bring Jacob again to him. So that's what it is. So we're gonna be preaching. We're gonna, like fishermen, we're gonna catch some good. We're gonna catch them, and they're gonna be tried too. But we're gonna be tried. So continuance in there. This is verse 14, 2 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 14. If any man work abide, he shall build thereon, and he shall receive his word. And any man work shall be burnt, he shall suffer loss, but himself shall be saved, yet so as by fire. Knowing ye not that you are the temple of the Most High. So that's just the point. So with that, let's see if there's any precept. So Khan. So with that, I want to give all glory, honors, and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakak Wadash, the Wada Yah, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, and Shalom, Kings.